Hello friends, welcome to my videos. So today in this video I am going to explain why it is important to write a cover letter when you apply for a job and how to write it. So let's start with the first point, why it's important. So what happens when an employer puts a job notification? There are many candidates who apply for the exact same position. And I don't think it's possible for an employer to go through all the profiles, all the resumes they get. So in such scenarios, when you write a short cover letter, it's gonna be very easy for your employer to read and find out how you meet the job expectations, how you could be a fit for the role, and that helps you to keep your profile out of the crowd and may end up scheduling an interview. Yes, this is how it works. So, what happens when you see a job posting? It always asks you to send your detailed resume. Sometimes there are restrictions over the number of pages in your resumes, but mostly they never say that, or mostly they never say that a cover letter is mandatory. But always try to send a cover letter, even if they say it's mandatory or not. The only case where you should not include your cover letter is if the advertisement specifically says do not send your cover letter. So always try to send your cover letter. Okay, now let's write. So now we know that we should send our cover letter. So what we should include in our cover letter and how long it should be. This is also a very good question. So in your cover letter, you basically address the hiring manager who's gonna take the call on the CVs received. So what you can do some research about the employer through LinkedIn, through Google, or through possible contacts to find out who is the actual concerned person who is going to read your resume, your profile, and shortlist candidates. So, in most of the cases, you should be able to find out because now everything is on LinkedIn. You can find an entire organization on LinkedIn, so it's not a big deal. But in some cases, you may not find. So this is how you should begin your cover letter. Suppose the person's name is John, so you can write Dear John. In case you are not sure and you are not able to find, you can write Dear Hiring Manager. And then in the next line, you should write the company name ABC Software. And now you should start with your cover letter. So the question arises how long your letter should be, because if you write a big letter or if you copy paste your resume here, nobody is gonna read it, nobody has time, because on an average no recruiter takes more than a minute initially to read what you have written. So make sure you write effectively, that takes you out of the crowd, otherwise you can be filtered easily. Okay, so typically it is always advisable write 3 paragraphs in your cover letter. So let's start with paragraph 1. What are you going to include in this? Basically this is going to be an introduction. You need to introduce yourself. You can write your experience, education, and if you know anybody who has referred you for the job, that you can write here. And most importantly, always include some information about how you came to know about the job opening. It could be a job portal, it could be a third party recruitment site, so always mention that. And as per my experience, it's always good to include job ID number so that they find out that you are very active and you are actually looking for these roles. Okay, this is how you start with the first paragraph. Now let's go to the second paragraph. So the paragraph 2 is the actual paragraph where the real action takes place. So you're gonna write how you think you are the best fit for the role among all the candidates applied, or whatever is the case. So you need to do some specific research about the employer, about the job role they are asking you to appear for. So what you can do some online research and you can do some LinkedIn research for sure. Suppose an employer, ABC Software, is hiring somebody as a programming lead. So what my approach would be, I would go to LinkedIn. I'll find out the people, those who are working for ABC Software. I'll try to locate the people, those who are already at the position or near positions of the job advertised. Then I'm gonna read through their profiles. I'm gonna find out what are they actually doing, and if that meets my criteria, if that meets my knowledge, am I a good fit? So once I'm clear about this, then I can write it in an effective way. So now you know what the employer does, what are their major clients, and how they are servicing their clients, and what are the possible service models. So considering all these points in your mind, you can write in a way that how you could be a fit. You can write some prior information, some prior experience, where you can say that you have done something similar or something exactly what the role demands, and you have effectively handled these situations. And if you have done something extraordinarily or something that makes you different, for example, in your technology, if you have received some recognized certifications, some awards, so this is the right place to quote. So always make it relevant to the job posting, employer, their service model, and do as much research as you can, and put relevant information. Make sure this is not something that you just copy and paste from your resume, because in that way you cannot deceive a recruiter, because a recruiter is a professional who is an expert in dealing such cases, who is an expert professional in dealing such cases, so you just cannot deceive them so easily. So always make sure you write it effectively and do not test their expertise. In your third paragraph, where you conclude, you need to say that, you need to express that you are waiting for, or you are hoping for a callback, because you have demonstrated that you meet or you exceed the expectations, and and you are ready to explain the same points face to face once you see them, and also include some additional information. I mean to say, when I wrote my cover letter where I got the job, I wrote that, that if you need any clarification, any documentation, any reference to verify what I have quoted above, please do not hesitate to contact back. Because if you do this, there that creates a positive impression in your employer's mind, that yes, whatever this candidate has written is true, and he or she is ready to provide evidence and doesn't just go away in case asked. So that's always a very good idea. And when you in your cover letter, you should write yours faithfully, and then put a comma and then enter your name. And also it's good if like your resume, where you put your contact details like your phone number and your email address. It's always good to put that here also, because sometimes employers just see the cover letters and they call you. So that is always good to include here. So I hope you like this video. If you have any question, any concern, please do not forget to put a comment. And Do not forget to subscribe. Thank you.